Hi, I'm David Thomas, Grace Media Group, news director and online editor, WNWS.com. We are live at Union University this morning talking with Erica Pitt, the head athletic trainer of the Union University athletic program. Erica, we're sitting in the gymnasium, Fred DeLay Gymnasium. A lot of activity, not just on the floor, but a lot of it off the floor as well, as you guys prepare for basketball season, which begins Friday evening at home, one game. But you also have a lot of work to do, as I mentioned. Tell us about what's going on outside the lines, if you will.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a different year, logistically speaking, with basketball. We have, really had to reimagine how game day looks. Everything from preparing to the games to how the actual game itself will be structured. So prior to all of this, COVID testing was never anything that we had talked about, but according with the NCAA guidelines and then our conference guidelines, we kind of started having to think about how we're going to make sure that our student athletes are staying safe and healthy. So right now we're doing rapid testing 3 days a week with all of our student athletes and then all of the coaches and the people who would be considered tier 1, which would be all of those people that are in close contact with our team members. So we're doing that, and then beyond that, we've just had to think about how we're restructuring the benches, the scorers table, the capacity of our gym. There's just been a lot that's gone into it.
Okay, as far as the gymnasium is concerned, you basically have, if someone can see right now and behind you, the seats, they're blocked off, taped off. Certain ones will be able to use. A lot of people familiar with the gymnasium, of course, they're used to the basketball team sitting where we are. They're sitting on the other side of the floor.
Yes.
The benches have been moved over here. Tell us why.
So we have a rule within our conference and the NCAA as well that the players have to be spaced a certain distance apart from the fans. And we wanted to be able to safely get as many fans in here as we could. So in order to do that, we moved the benches to the other side so that we would be able to keep the fans at a safe distance from our student athletes, but also be able to have fans in the gymnasium. So we also wanted to make sure that the student athletes and the coaches were a safe distance from our scorers table. So that is why they're on the opposite side of the gym.
As far as the scorers table is concerned, I'm looking at basically 5 stations. One person, is that not correct, at each station?
Yes. So
but you'll also, go ahead.
There will be one person at every station, but we're also going to be putting folding tables on the sides to make sure that we have enough room for everyone to be able to do their jobs, but then also to maintain their social distance.
The students, now, of course, as far as entering the arena, let's just start at the beginning. There's one door, and also the fans, the fans and the basketball teams, one door.
Yes, so the way that we are doing it is fans and anyone who is not in that tier 1 group will have a separate entrance. All of the players will actually be entering on the opposite side of the gym in the hallway where our students usually come in. So we've had to kind of redirect traffic in a way for them. So all of the coaches and the athletes will come in through that door. And then there will be one fan entrance for everyone, staff, students, and then our general admission tickets. And all of those people will come in through a specific door. They will be screened, getting their temperature taken, and then they will all come through, depending on what side of the gym that they're sitting on, they will either come through to the side of the gym where the benches are, or they'll come to the other side. And then there will be a walkway behind the benches. We need at least 12 feet between where the fans are and where the athletes are. So there will be 3 or 4 rows blocked off plus a walkway, and then that's how everyone will get to their seats.
Masks.
Masks.
Where they come in play?
So they will be required for everyone in the building except for the student athletes who are participating in the game at the time that they're on the court, and then the officials as they are on the court officiating. But the minute anyone comes off of the court, they will be putting their masks on after they've rehydrated, and then we do ask that our fans and then all of the staff workers will also be wearing masks.
You're looking at it, of course, from a head athletic trainer, but now your duties will increase because you're also going to be here, hopefully not for injuries, but those things will happen. How will that be handled as far as someone going to a trainer's room, or how is that going to be handled?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have actually set up a satellite athletic training room for our visiting team.
Okay.
So usually we get to share the athletic training room with the visiting team, and that's not an issue at all. But this year we want to make sure to keep them separated. So we have set up a satellite athletic training room in the visiting team locker room, and then we will make ourselves available to a team if they need us. But those accommodations will be talked about ahead of time with the visiting team athletic trainer to make sure that they have everything that they need to be able to take care of their team before the game.
How long did it take, or would you know how long it took to get the arena game day ready? You've got 2 days, and then it's tip-off time.
Yes, so really this has been, I feel like, months in planning, everything from the COVID task force, figuring out how a game day is going to look, different things like that. The actual setup of the court, it really isn't as different because instead of putting the chairs on, the side we normally do, we just put them on this side. So actual setup isn't necessarily longer. However, fan entrance will take a little bit more time just because we do have to screen everyone that's coming in. And we will have to make sure that one team leaves before the other team leaves. So there will be a little bit of lag time there, but I think that in terms of timing of everything, I think we've got it figured out.
Have you watched a basketball game on TV just for this purpose, to say, is there something we're leaving out?
Yes, we have. We've definitely learned by being able to watch, other Division I schools and then even the NBA and get some ideas from there. One of the things that we thought about that we got from that was to be able to have a little bin, a plastic bin next to every chair on the bench so that everyone can put their water bottle, their mask, their towel, and it can stay contained so that it doesn't get switched with someone else's. So that was definitely something that was helpful to us.
We are sitting where the benches will be, or where they are for this year. I'm used to someone coming off the bench going to the scores table to check in. How do we do it this time?
Yes, so that is definitely going to be an adjustment for our coaches and our student athletes. What we have decided to do is to put markers on the floor. So they will be on this side of the gym where the benches are. The student athlete will just come to that mark, and then that way the score table knows that the student athlete is going to be subbing in. Okay,
what happens though if the opposition has 2 or 3 players they want to send in at the same time? How do we handle that?
I think I'm not really sure, to be honest. I believe that as long as they are around that mark, that the scores table will know that they want to. The good thing is that student athletes are going to be asked to, keep to their chair. So once they're coming off the court, they will go right to their chair, and that will be their seat. So I think there won't be a lot of, standing and milling around like we usually have.
Okay, one more question for you. You're going to have a quick turnaround. You've got a game at 6 p.m. Friday evening.
Yes.
You're going to play at 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon. What takes place after the game ends Friday and before you play again Saturday?
So there's definitely going to be a lot of sanitizing. We're working really closely with our facilities on campus and everything. We have to sanitize everything, all of the seats, all of the bench seats, the bins that were used. And then also we're thinking about our student athletes, making sure that we can get them ready for the next day's game. They usually have a day in between, so some recovery things as well we'll be working with.
Erica, thank you so much, and we'll be right back with Stephen Aldridge, the Sports Information Director, live at WNWS.com in just one moment.